BeamNG's Ibishu BX Coupe has been transformed into a Ute. The BX Ute mod adds a pickup bed to the rear of the car, and it looks incredible. We've got a lot to check out. As you can see, it's a normal BX at the front, but then at the back, we've got a very interesting looking Ute bed. We can open it up here, and you can see it's quite spacious, and it's been designed really well. Very, very beautiful, and pretty elegant design, considering this is a utility vehicle. Of course, this is reminiscent of so many different Australian Utes, but the mod also includes the Gavril Huntsman. This car is from Australia. It's a rebadged BX for the Australian market. You can see the Huntsman badge back here. I really like the name of this thing, and it's basically the same but rebadged. However, the Huntsman did get different engines. We have a 3.8 litre V6, and later on we'll be trying out some V8 models. So let's drive the BX Ute. Now basically all of the Utes of the BX are the same models as from the vanilla car, but they've been modified with that Ute bed. And as you're driving along, there's no real sensation that you're in a utility vehicle. I really love the fact it still feels like a sporty, whoa, coupe, apart from the fact we don't have anti-lock brakes. Oh dear. This base model, the 200BX, is quite underpowered, 144 horsepower, but can we drift it? Whoa, hang on a minute. Oh, not really. Oh, I don't know though. Yeah, it's all right. Okay, let's do a crash test. Now, I'm not going to do a crash test from the front because we know what the BX crash is like. We're going to do a rear end crash test. Okay, approximately 60 miles per hour. Here we go. Ooh, okay. It looks... I don't know. We need to take these cars apart. There you go. Recovered it. Okay. Yeah, it's not bad. It looks a little bit weird. The exhaust has been forced up through the bed. But yeah, in general, it's all right. Not quite vanilla quality. But then again, this is a free mod on the repo. There are 30 configs in this mod. It really does add quite a lot of content. This mod was made by LJ74. I've left a link to it in the description, and it's on the repo. So let's move on to something a bit sportier. So the 240BX, the middle trim of the BX, and as you can see, this has a Ute conversion as well. In fact, all of the BXs do, even the Diana over here. And take a look at the Ute bed on this. Not only do we have some more aero parts here, but we have a top cover. You can actually open it up like that, and we've got sort of split folding tailgate here. Unfortunately, this doesn't seem to close, but the mod creator LJ74 is aware of this and will be updating this in the future. You can also see you can fit the bed with the cargo boxes from the career mode, although LJ does say this mod doesn't support career mode just yet. And LJ has also added some new interior colors to the BX with this mod. You can see we've got this funky blue interior here. Okay, I've added about 150 kilograms of weight in the back here. Let's see if it destroys the handling. First impressions are no, it hasn't. The BX was always a really good handling car, and this one, to be honest, is no different. I like how kind of, whoa, firm the steering is on the BX as well. And actually, this is the kind of car, this Ute, oh wow, I'm driving badly today. This Ute is the kind of car I'd love to see in the vanilla game. And this 2.4 litre engine is really responsive. Whoa, and we can control, that was crazy. How do I manage to control that? We can control drifts in this thing. Oh yeah. So the Huntsman has a basic utility version. This just has the V6 engine. As you can see, steel wheels and these horrid plastic bumpers. But you know, it's a cheap vehicle, a cheap Ute. And then over here on the left, we've got the Huntsman V8. 5 litre V8 engine producing 190 horsepower. Not that powerful, but yeah, it was the 90s. Absolutely love the new alloy wheels included in this mod. And the interior is great too. It kind of combines the style of the Gavril Grand Marshal with the cabin of the BX. Okay, let's take this V8 power onto the mountain road. Try and drift this thing. Right, rev it into the corner. There you go. Kind of controlling a drift, but wow. Okay, we need a bit more steering angle on this thing. Come on. Go. There you go. Okay. You can get a manual or an automatic for this thing. So was the handling ruined for the Australian market? Well, no. Whoa, it's a bit oversteery. Look at that. But yeah, the front wheels feel quite grippy, which is great. And then we've got the Huntsman RoadSport. The top-of-the-line Huntsman has a tuned 5-litre V8, producing 206 horsepower, so only about 15 more than the standard variant. However, I love this stripe going all the way around the car, the RoadSport badge, and the custom aero package, which looks great. And inside, oh my goodness, it's red. Okay, let's take this thing onto the highway. I want to see just how sporty this thing really is. This thing has quite a bit of torque. I want to test its overtaking performance as well as its high speed stability, and there you go. Wow. This is naturally aspirated, no superchargers here, and it really feels like it has a lot more than 206 horsepower. Now, partly that's because this car only weighs 1.3 tons. It's really not that heavy. Whoa, my goodness. Okay, the stability is good. Even when I go up the curb, it stays stable. We have 5 gears, and the top speed of this thing is probably limited by the gearing, which doesn't seem too great for high speed. No, we're capping out at 120. Wow, I would expect more from this car. Crash test into a taxi? Why not? Whoa, yeah. It's just the normal BX crash model at the front. If you want a bit more power, the Japanese have you covered with the BX GTz Ute. This has a 2-litre turbocharged engine, producing 213 horsepower. But I really want to try out the Diana GTz Ute. The same engine, the same, well, everything underneath really, but now we've got a canopy over the Ute, and it's made this thing into a wagon, basically. Split folding tailgate, a real one this time, loads of room in there, and yeah, I think this is the best looking car in this mod. The way this thing drives is just so much different to the Huntsman. I mean, first of all, the suspension feels more sporty. Maybe there's some kind of tweaking and tuning for the Australian market, but yeah, the GTZ was a pretty sporty vehicle. Oh dear. And of course, you can tune the engines to create a real drift wagon with this thing. This is the V Special version of the GTZ BX Ute. It's got an interesting color scheme here. We've got pastel blue. I don't know, don't really like that, but yeah, the V Special is in the vanilla car as well, and this is the most powerful version of the BX Ute. Apparently it's a concept car and only one was made. The differences are subtle, but they're definitely there. This is a very responsive and sporty vehicle. I love that LJ74 has gone to the effort of adding Ute variants of all the vanilla BXs. So then it's time to check out the tuned models. This is the Huntsman Street Tuned. We've got a modified 5-litre V8 engine. It's turbocharged and it produces 412 horsepower. Look at that Holden style rear wing. I love it. So how does it drive? I'm going to floor it in 3rd gear. Here we go. Whoa. Oh my goodness, a lot of wheel spin, and the ride height has been lowered, so it should be a little sportier, ride a bit more flat. Oh, I'm struggling to control the wheel spin though. Oh, this is much more like it. There's 140, I'm gonna brake a bit. Can we control it? Look out! Oh dear, I mean, my goodness, look at the size of that exhaust. No wonder it sounds like an absolute beast. Traveling along the highway now at 150 miles per hour. This thing can keep up with the fastest anything Germany can produce. 155 top speed. Pretty good. Oh yeah, from modified Australian Ute. Oh, that's incredible. There's a rally config of the V6 Huntsman. It's pretty powerful, 274 horsepower. We've got lots of modifications in there, bucket seats and a roll cage. At the back, again, huge exhaust. And let's see if it's any good to drive. We've got a sequential gearbox in this thing. I believe it's just rear-wheel drive still. Yep, definitely rear-wheel drive, but even so, it's very grippy off-road. This is a very fun rally car to drive, and I've just noticed you can rev this thing to 7,500 RPM. Let's try it. Let's see what it sounds like up there. Whoa! That's crazy, and we're gripping. We're still gripping. And this thing is pretty good at drifting off-road. I mean, I love rear-wheel drive rally cars. 4-wheel drive is great, but you can have a lot of fun with this. The final 2 configs are very special. This one is the Pro Drift. It's a conversion of the Pro Drift from the normal BX. A 5.5-litre V8 engine producing 518 horsepower. Inside, we've got lots of different modifications, these bucket seats and this this interesting handbrake, which helps you, I guess, slide into corners. And over here, we've got Santa's Shred Sled. It's got the same 5.5 litre V8 engine, and look at these wheels. But we've got Christmas lights all the way around it, and a Christmas tree in the Ute bed. Finally, we're carrying something that pretty much fills the bed. Okay, let's start with the Pro Drift. I want to see just how easy this thing is to drift. Okay, drift into the first corner. Here we go. Give it some throttle. Yes, the steering angle is brilliant on this thing. It just feels like a well-sorted drift car. It's very similar to the Pro Drift in the vanilla game. This thing has been professionally tuned for drifting. You know, it's purpose-built, and even relatively high-speed drifts are just so easy to control. Oh my goodness, whoa. Compare that to Santa's Shred Sled. We have got the same engine, but it doesn't look like the suspension has been changed at all. In fact, we're riding low on the rear axle. It sounds good though. Okay, let's see. Brakes, not great. Here we go into the first corner. Oh my, yeah. Way more difficult to drift. I'm going to take it relatively slow. You can get this thing to drift. It just doesn't have that precise steering that the other one has. Okay, down into second. Give it a bit of power. Whoa, no. This is way too difficult to drift. It is good enough for donuts, though. Look at this. Yay. Okay, this car is very interesting, but unfortunately, it doesn't have the finesse and the precision that the Pro Drift has. I mean, this is like a modified thing someone's crafted in their workshop. I say crafted, it's more kind of bodged together, really. So what do you think of the BX Ute? Personally, this one, the Diana GTz Turbo, is my favorite, but in general, I think this is the best looking Ute we've ever had in BeamNG. The mod is free. I've left a link to it in the description down below. But if you'd like to see another Ute mod for BeamNG, click the video on screen right now. It's of the Ibishu Pessima Ute. That's the Pessima RSV mod. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon for some more simulator adventures.